Rain was falling softly over the city. Street lights reflected on the wet roads as people hurried home. But inside Golden Crown Restaurant, the atmosphere was very different. Bright lights, luxury decorations, and the smell of expensive food filled the air. This was the most prestigious restaurant in the city. Only rich businessmen, celebrities, and wealthy families came here. Among the busy staff working there was a young waiter named Daniel Parker. Daniel was only 24 years old. He worked long hours, sometimes 14 hours a day. Not because he loved the job, but because he had no choice. His mother was very sick, and Daniel was the only one who could pay for her medicines. Every day he reminded himself of one promise. No matter how hard life becomes, I will stay kind. But that night, his kindness would change everything. The restaurant manager, Mr. Collins, was a strict and arrogant man. He believed the restaurant should only serve the rich. He often told the staff, "Poor people bring bad reputation to a luxury place." Daniel hated hearing that, but he stayed quiet. He needed the job. That night the restaurant was extremely busy. Every table was full. Guests laughed loudly. Glasses clinked. Music played softly. Everything looked perfect. Until the glass doors slowly opened. A woman walked in holding the hand of a little girl. The girl looked around with wide eyes. Everything looked magical to her. Crystal chandeliers sparkled above. Beautiful decorations filled the room. The little girl whispered softly, "Mom, this place is so beautiful." Her mother smiled gently, but her smile hid something. Pain, because she knew they didn't belong there. Her clothes were simple, her shoes were worn, and she looked nervous. Many guests immediately noticed them. Some whispered, some laughed quietly. One man even said loudly, "I think they entered the wrong place." The little girl heard it. Her smile slowly disappeared. Before they could sit down, Manager Collins rushed toward them. His face looked annoyed. "Excuse me," he said coldly. "This restaurant is very expensive." The woman nodded quietly. "I understand, but today is my daughter's birthday." The little girl looked down shyly. She always wanted to see this restaurant. Collins crossed his arms. "You can look around if you want. But you cannot sit here." The girl's eyes filled with tears. The mother gently held her hand. "It's okay, sweetheart, let's go." And that's when Daniel saw everything. Daniel quickly walked toward them. "Wait," he said softly. He pulled a chair out for the girl. "Please sit." The manager turned red with anger. "Daniel, what do you think you're doing?" Daniel ignored him. He looked at the little girl. "What's your name?" "Lily." "Happy birthday, Lily." For the first time that night, the girl smiled. Daniel went to the kitchen. He ordered a plate of pasta and a small chocolate cake. Another waiter whispered nervously, "You'll get into trouble." Daniel simply replied, "Sometimes doing the right thing causes trouble." When he returned, Lily's eyes sparkled. "Is that for me?" Daniel nodded. "Yes. Birthday girls deserve cake." Lily laughed happily. But their happiness didn't last long. Manager Collins stormed toward the table. "Did they pay for this?" Daniel stayed calm. "No, sir." "Then who will pay?" Daniel slowly took out his wallet. "I will." Guests began whispering. Some watched with curiosity. Others recorded the scene on their phones. Collins laughed mockingly. "You're unbelievable." Then he shouted loudly, "You're fired." The restaurant became silent. Daniel slowly removed his apron. He knew this might happen. But he had no regrets. Just as Daniel turned to leave, the restaurant doors opened again. A tall man entered. Expensive suit. Confident walk. Immediately the staff stood straight. Because everyone knew him. Mr. William Harrison, the owner of the restaurant. And one of the most powerful businessmen in the city. He looked around calmly. But something caught his attention. The crying little girl. And the angry manager. "What's happening here?" he asked. Manager Collins quickly spoke. "This waiter broke the rules. He gave free food to beggars." The entire restaurant watched silently. Mr. Harrison slowly looked toward the woman. Then suddenly, his expression changed. His eyes widened. "Emily." The woman froze. She looked at him carefully. Then whispered, "William." The room became completely silent. Mr. Harrison turned to everyone. "You call her a beggar?" He took a deep breath. 10 years ago I had nothing. My business failed. I was homeless. No one helped me." He pointed toward the woman. "Except her." Guests gasped. She gave me food, when she barely had any herself. Manager Collins looked terrified. Mr. Harrison then turned toward Daniel. You paid for their meal. Daniel nodded quietly. Yes, sir. Mr. Harrison smiled. A man who protects dignity deserves respect. Then he looked at the manager. You're fired. Gasps filled the restaurant. Then he looked back at Daniel. And from today, you are the new manager of this restaurant. Daniel was speechless. Lily blew out her birthday candle. Everyone in the restaurant applauded. Some guests even wiped their tears. Emily hugged her daughter tightly. Daniel looked at Mr. Harrison. I just wanted to help. Mr. Harrison smiled warmly. And that's exactly why you deserve this. Because in a world where many people choose cruelty, one act of kindness can change everything.